A very good afternoon to all dear students. This is Professor Agam Dalal. Let me give you my introduction first of all. I have achieved All India second rank in CA final examination. I have achieved 4 gold medal including taxation. I have also achieved All India 33rd rank in Inter CA. Let me tell you, I have been teaching direct text subject since last 6 years. And I have taught to so many cities like Ahmedabad, Baroda, Surat, Chennai, Hyderabad, Bangalore, Coimbatore, Hubli, Mumbai, Delhi, Jaipur, Raipur. And it gives me immense pleasure today to start this new batch. I'm also a practicing chartered accountant having my own partnership firm, and hence I will try to merge the practical applicability of this subject into this particular theory that we are going to learn. That was all about myself. Very least important for all of you. What is more important for all of you is how we are going to study, what we are going to study, in which manner we will continue our subject, so on and so forth. First of all, okay, what we are going to study and how we are going to study, coming to that particular part. Today, which subject we are going to start, dear students? You must be aware about it, paper number 3. And that paper number 3 is all about what? Your direct text plus indirect text. And in that, both the subjects carry 50-50 marks. We are going to study direct text that contains 50 marks, but please don't judge this subject by looking at 50 marks. It is exactly not at 50 marks. It is of 200 marks if you see from CA final perspective. When you will come to CA final, Nabita, this particular subject will carry separate 100 marks, and along with that, in multidisciplinary case study, that is the 6th paper of CA final, this will contains nearly 25 to 30 marks. So the base of inter CA 50 marks will be helpful in your articleship also, will be helpful in your CA final also, and that too on a large basis. So please don't consider this just as a 50 mark subject. Now, out of this 50 marks, you all are aware that 30% is MCQ and remaining 70% is what? Descriptive. Now, when I say 30% MCQ, I mean to say 15 mark MCQ. Now, in this 15 mark MCQ, what ICI generally ask? Which kind of MCQ generally ICI ask? 1 marker, 2 marker, case study based MCQ. All these MCQs are being asked. And the remaining 35 marks, that is descriptive. Tell me in the chat box, what do you understand? Is it a subject which is a theory subject or is a practical subject? Tell me quickly. Is it a theory subject or a practical subject? What will be asked in descriptive? What do you think? Theory or practical? Okay, so many of you believe it is a theory subject. Many of you believe it is a practical subject. Dear students, this is a deadly combo of theory and practical. We will learn theory from which only practicals will be asked. Or else we have to study practicals to understand the theory. We will study the law, we will study the provisions, and based on that provisions, practical question answers will come. You know, out of this 35 marks, let me tell you, only 4 mark theory question will be asked. Remaining entire descriptive is practical. And so you can consider this as a theory plus practical subject. Now, how we are going to study this subject? Over here, you will receive, if you have not yet, we will be studying from 2 particular textbooks. One which is purely theory. For all the theoretical, for all the chapters from chapter number 1 till chapter number 15, the theories are given in a chart format. Entire theory is there. And I have tried to summarize your entire direct text in 233 pages, that too with lots so many pages blank in that. So nearly this contains approximately 200 pages. And this 200 pages means your 100% direct text is covered exhaustively. Nothing is left out. Each and everything which is given in your ICI module, I have tried to cover in this notes in the most summarized manner, in the chart format. As I said, nothing is left out. It is my 100% guarantee. Not a single word will be outside from this particular textbook. Second, I have covered over here question bank. This is approximately of 400 pages, in which, for each and every chapters, I have given you varieties of questions, which contains 100% question answers of ICI study material. That is the first priority. 100% ICI study material question answers will be covered in this particular lectures. After that, some difficult kind of extra questions I have given. I have also given for you self revision, homework questions. This illustration and exercise questions which I'm talking about is all related to ICAI question answers, which we will be doing in the classroom itself. So yes, 100% summary notes are there, question answers are there, and that's how we are going to do this particular direct text subject. For many of the students, this is an interesting subject. For many of the students, this is difficult subject. For many of the students, this is moderate subject. How this subject will be for you people? So during this lecture, I will make sure you don't feel a single minute wastage. There will be not a single percentage time pass. We will be fully focused on the content. We will be fully focused on the question answers. Your time is precious, and that I admire a lot. Your time is absolutely important, and we will be taking care of that, that it is not wastage at all. And that is my guarantee that after learning this subject from this particular lectures, whenever you will go in articleship, you will understand each and everything, because I will try to cover each and every practical scenario with these lectures so that you understand how real life works. For each and every section, from where that particular provision came, who brought that provision, what was the thinking before bringing that provision into the picture, what was the provision prior to that, and then which section came, the entire history I will tell you. You must have understood, you must have heard that Income Tax Act 2025 is going to come. Let me tell you, beta, Income Tax Act 1961 that we are going to study in these lectures are same, which is, all the provisions are same in Income Tax Act 2025. No change at all. Just section numbers are here and there. So whatsoever you are learning in this particular lectures, which are obviously applicable for your attempt, but whenever you will go in CA final now, even this provision, this learning will be 100% helpful in your CA final also. Consider me like your friend, like your guide for this all upcoming lectures. I'm all there to solve all the doubts of yours. Whatever doubt you have, you just need to tell that in the chat box. I will be solving that once that particular explanation is completed. First, before I start with the very first chapter, I want from confirmation from all of you whether you understood up to this how we are going to study, yes or no, people. I want your answer in the chat box. People, you understood, yes or no? Super, super. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, let's begin with the very first chapter. Let us begin with the very first chapter. And the very first chapter is all about basic concept. The very first chapter is all about basic concept. Now, guys, this first chapter do not contain much question answers. This first chapter contains, today's lecture will be more about theory. The simple reason is this is a new subject for all of you. So we are supposed to learn the new terminologies, new jargons, new words. And once that is done, then we'll go to some practical aspect of this chapter. This chapter generally not asked on an independent level. So this is not an independent chapter. This will be merged with the further chapters, whatever we'll learn in future. But unless and until you are done with this chapter, you cannot understand anything further, because the words are very important. A new subject is there. Okay. Let me go to the base first of all. If I will come to your house and I will tell you that on every month end, you are supposed to pay me a tax of rupees 10,000, whether you will be paying me? Yes or no? Whether you will be paying me, tell me. If I tell you, you have to pay me tax of rupees 10,000 every month, compulsory, into my personal bank account, will you pay me? No? Why you are saying no? Why you will not pay me? Because I am not the authority. You understood now? If I am asking the tax from you, it will become illegal. And if it will become illegal, then why should you pay me that? Acha, but tell me, if government will ask tax from you, whether you will pay the tax to government, let's say you are earning income, You have grown up now, you have become CA, now you are earning the income, and hence you are supposed to pay income tax. If government is asking tax from you, whether you will be paying tax to government? Yes. Oh, that means you will not pay tax to me, you will pay tax to government. Why so? Who gave the power to government that government can charge the tax from you, but I cannot charge the same? The power is given by whom? The power is given by the supreme authority of this country, and that is Constitution. Constitution of India has given this power, and the power is given to whom? The power is given to Government of India. That the tax can be collected only and only by Government of India. And this power is written in Article 265 of Constitution. Article 265 of Constitution says that no tax can be levied except by authority of the law. What is the meaning of this line? If you understand this one line, it says that positively it says that tax can be levied only by authority of the law. Means whosoever is the authority, means government can only collect the tax. If any other person is collecting the tax, it will become illegal. And hence you are not paying tax to me. You will pay tax only to whom? Government. It is because of which article? Article 265 of Constitution. See, in the Act, there are sections. In the constitutions, there are articles. So first article which you need to remember, Article 265. Acha, before I move forward, let me just clear one doubt which one student has asked. Sir, whether these notes are enough or apart from this, we have to refer anything from ICI material or any other textbook. Okay. These are the notes from which we will be studying. These are the notes from which you will be doing revision. These are the notes which you will use on the last day of your examination. Means apart from these notes, you are supposed to study not a single thing. This is whole and soul thing from you. Sorry. Are you understanding my point? So yes, Article 265 gave the power to Government of India that tax will be collected only by Government of India. But now tell me, how many kind of government our country have? Like only one government or there are two-tier government? Perfect. Two-tier government. Can I say we have one called as central government, other for each and every state we have state government. So if Article 265 is saying to us that tax can be collected by authority of the law, that is Government of India, but in government, can I say there are two kind of government which may be of different political parties? So who will finally collect the tax? Is it central government or is it state government? Who will collect the tax finally? That has to be divided. That has to be decided. Because if it is not divided, if it is not decided, then can I say both the governments will have always a fight in between? State government will say, I will collect all the tax. Central government will say, no, I will collect all the tax. Then finally, who will collect? The distribution is done by Article 246 of Constitution. Which article has done this distribution? Article 246. Now, what Article 246 has done? It has given three lists over here. Please understand. Three lists means three bifurcations. The first list is called as central list. Another name of central list you can understand, union list. Central or union, both are same. The second list is all about state list. Means in the first list, those powers are given which will be used by central government. In state list, those powers are given which will be used by state government. And third list is called as concurrent list. In concurrent list, all the powers are given which will be used by both the governments together. So yes, which article has distributed this? Article 246. How many lists are there? Three lists are there: central list, state list, concurrent list. Now, for us, all the powers are not important. We are going to study direct tax. So for us, taxation power is very important. Now, for us, what is more important is central list. In that, there is one entry called entry number 82. Now, please understand, there is list now. So serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, like this powers are given. So that is basically entry number 1, entry number 2, entry number 3. If you go to entry number 82, it says that central government is having a power to collect tax on income other than agriculture income. It means what? My first doubt from this particular point. Which government is having a power to collect income tax? Central government or state government? Which government is having a power to collect income tax? Central government or state government? Yes, perfect. That power is with central government. But tell me, can central government collect the tax on all kind of income? No. Central government can collect the tax on all the kind of income other than agriculture income. Other than agriculture income means except agriculture income. Means on agricultural income, central government cannot collect the tax. The simple reason is the power to collect tax on agricultural income is there in state list. So state government has basically decided that we will collect tax on agriculture income. Central government will not collect it. As of now, in today's era, in our country, not all state governments are collecting tax from farmers. Only 3 to 4 states are collecting some kind of tax from that farmers. Balance, all the states have exempted the farmers from paying income tax. Even the central government cannot collect the tax from farmer because constitution has not given the authority. So tell me, if I ask you, power to collect income tax is derived from which article, which list, which entry? What will be your answer? Entry number 82 of central list of article 246 of constitution. Repeat it with me. Income tax power is given through which particular entry? Entry number 82 of central list of article 246 of constitution. Acha, now understand, in state list also there are some kind of tax that is given, which is not important for us. This is just a general knowledge question that I am sharing with you, that which powers are there with state government. Stamp duty. What is the meaning of stamp duty? If you purchase any kind of immovable property, land or building, either you sell it or you purchase it, you have to pay a particular percentage of tax to state government. And that is basically covered by state list. Second is called as water tax. Now, water tax, because you are getting a pure water to drink, to use in your state, you have to pay a water tax. That is one kind of municipal tax. Same way, municipal tax, property tax, all this kind of tax are collected by which government? State government. And hence it is given under which list? State list. It is given under state list. So yes, income tax power is there in central list. All other tax power is there in state list. In concurrent list, there is no tax. So there is no tax as of now in our country, which two governments can commonly charge. But then your mind will say, no, sir, GST is there. We have, read the bills wherever we go for any kind of shopping. We have always, saw that CGST is there, SGST is there. So basically, central government is also charging the same, state government is also charging the same. Right, beta? But concurrent list means a single act will be there from which central government will also ask the tax, state government will also charge the tax. In GST, for CGST we have different act, SGST we have different act. There is no single act given. And that's why GST do not come from concurrent list. In our constitution, there was no such power to make GST through different act. In 2014, when BJP government came into the picture, it amended the constitution and it brought an article called Article 246A. Article 246A gave the power to central government to bring an act called GST, wherein two kind of act will be there, CGST Act, SGST Act, and two different government will charge their respected portions. So if I ask you, collection of income tax is through which article? Article 246. GST collected from which article? Article 246A. Income tax collection is through which entry? Entry number 82 of central list of article 246 of constitution. Are you understanding this? So up to now, two articles just we saw the basic things, that power to collect tax is with government of India and that power is given by article 265. The distribution is done by which article? Article 246. Just read up to now. Just read up to now. And if any doubt, then please tell me in the chat box. Now tell me, is it necessary to collect tax in our country? Why it is so? I mean, when we were under the ruling of Britishers, they were collecting tax from us, Lagan. Prior to that, the kingdoms were there. So the Raja, Maharajas at that time were collecting tax. Why our current government collecting the tax? Is it compulsory? Let me show you the fact. In our country, if we are earning 100 rupees of income, 80 rupees comes because of taxation. So if there is no tax, our country will not earn approximately 80 percentage of the income, which is not a smaller amount, which is the big amount. I mean, we, the people of India, are paying the tax, and hence our country is being run because 80 percentage of the revenue of this country is being derived from the taxpayers' money to spend for defense, to spend for development, to spend for capital expenditure, for all these things, what we require money, and that money will come from tax. Sir, there are so many countries in this world which don't collect a single penny of tax from their people. Thailand, Panama, UAE, they don't collect the tax. Why? Because they have so much tourism income. They must be having natural resources. From that, they are earning the money, like UAE and all. Petroleum income is so much high that they don't want taxation money of their people. We are a huge country with approximately 130 crore as per the last census. As of now, it must be 140, 150 crore people. So 150 crore population we are there. We have tourism income, but it is not sufficient for this entire country, and hence we are charging the tax. Now we have two kind of tax in our country. One is direct tax, another one is indirect tax. And this you all know. This is the basic things. This you must have studied in your school also, that we have two kind of tax system, direct tax, indirect tax. Now, what is the difference in this? There were, some lines which you must have mug up also, that indirect tax burden is on payer. Indirect tax burden is on consumer. Let me explain you some easy points over here. Let's say if today there is a person, Mr. A, who is working in ABC Limited. So from ABC Limited, what he will get is salary. Who is earning the income? Mr. A. Now, just because Mr. A is earning the income, there is a party called Government of India, particularly central government. Central government will ask tax from Mr. A because he has earned the income. At what percentage he will ask the tax, that we'll see later on. But central government will ask income tax. Now tell me, who paid the tax? Who paid the tax? Mr. A. And to whom the tax is being paid? Government. Any third party came into the picture? No. Can I say there is a direct connection with government? And hence this is called as direct tax. The burden is on payer only. The tax went from the pocket of Mr. A. He did not collect the tax from somebody else and paid to the government. He paid the tax from his own pocket directly to central government. And that's why this tax is called as what? Direct tax. But tell me what happened so far as indirect tax is concerned. Let us discuss about indirect tax. Let's say today you went in a shop to purchase some, let's say, grocery or computer. Let's say you purchased one computer. So here there is a person, Mr. A. Here there is the shopkeeper. Now shopkeeper said that computer is worth rupees 1 lakh. So Mr. A said, okay, I'm supposed to pay only 1 lakh rupees to you. Na? Shopkeeper will say, no, 1 lakh is there. You have to plus give me 18% GST also. Total how much? 1,18,000. Now what that shopkeeper will do? Shopkeeper will keep 1 lakh rupees with him. And what he will do is this 18,000 GST he will pay directly to the government. Now can I say here government is earning the tax revenue. And that tax revenue is paid by whom? Shopkeeper. But whether that shopkeeper has paid this amount from his pocket? No. He has taken it from Mr. A and he has paid to government. So can I say the burden is ultimately on who? Consumer. But the consumer is not the payer. Payer is somebody else. Mr. A is indirectly paying the tax to government by way of shopkeeper. And hence this particular tax is called as what? Indirect tax. So one is direct tax, wherein you directly pay the tax from your pocket. One is indirect tax, when you purchase something, you took services something, and you are paying GST on that. That particular supplier will pay that GST to government. Now my doubt is, why two kind of tax? Why there is a need of two kind of tax? If there is direct tax, why there is a need of indirect tax? Now let me share you the fact. Whosoever is earning the income is not supposed to pay direct tax, is not supposed to pay income tax. Simple reason being, income tax is applicable only when your income is more than a particular limit, and that limits we'll study in this lecture. Now, if your particular income is not more than that limit, you are not supposed to pay income tax. You know how many percentage of Indian people pay income tax? If you know, tell me in the chat box. How many percentage of people from India pay income tax? If any rough idea you have. Some may say 40% of population, some may say 50% of population pay income tax. How much percentage of people of India pay income tax? Tell me. Arun is saying 30%, okay. Let me share you the fact. Not more than 3%. Not more than 3%. Maximum 3% people of this country pay income tax. Balance 97% people, what they say? We are retired. We are housewife. We are children. We are earning the income, but less than 2,50,000. That is a particular threshold. And hence we are not supposed to pay income tax. So what do you think? Can our country run solely on the money of this 3% people who are paying income tax? And the expense will be done for 100% population. I mean, only 3% people paying the tax for 100% population. Is it good enough? Will our country will work because of the money of just this 3% population? No. And that's why what government thought, if you earn the income, you will pay income tax. If you do the expenditure, you will pay indirect tax. If you purchase something, you are taking some services, then you will pay indirect tax. So that 100% population of this country pay the tax. Today, if I am saying that I am a taxpayer, you can also say you are a taxpayer because you are purchasing something. A beggar of this country will also say he is a taxpayer because he is also purchasing something. Each and every person of this country pay the tax because indirect tax cover mass population, whereas direct tax cover only that 3% population who are earning the income more than a particular limit. And that's why to cover majority of people of India, they have brought into the picture indirect tax. Indirect tax. As of now, there is only one big act, and that is Income Tax Act 1961. In indirect tax, majority we have two act, GST and customs. Further also there are some more acts, but you will learn that in indirect tax. As of now, we are just understanding the basic things. So direct tax burden is on payer, indirect tax burden is on consumer. The example of direct tax is only one act, Income Tax Act. And indirect tax, GST and customs. Are you understanding this, people? Yes or no? Quickly reply me in the chat box. Yes or no? Tell me up to now what we have studied. First of all, Article 265, which gave the power to Government of India to collect the tax. Article 246, given the distribution. Central list, state list, concurrent list. Central list, which entry comes over there? Entry number 82. What it says? Power to collect income tax on income other than agricultural income. In state list, which kind of taxes are there? Stamp duty, water tax, municipal tax, etc. Then GST comes from which article? Article 246A. How many kind of tax we have? Direct tax, indirect tax. Burden of direct tax is on payer. Indirect tax is on consumer. Now, whenever we say that we are going to learn income tax, Actually, we are going to learn five things together. That five things together is what we are going to study. Obviously, we are going to study first of all Income Tax Act 1961. Five things that we will study. First, what we will study? Act. Whatever is the provision of the act which are there in your syllabus, that we will study. Now, tell me what I have written this. How to read this? So first we are going to study Act. For us, what is the name of the Act? Income Tax Act 1961. Are but how to read the Act? What are the terminologies which are used for a Act reading? That also we need to understand. What I have written 56 bracket to second bracket X third bracket I. Is it to be read like this? No. You must be aware you have cleared your CA foundation. It is section 56 subsection 2 clause 10 subclause 1. First section, second subsection, third clause, fourth subclause. And this is in Roman. So it is not X and I, it is 10 and 1. Section 56, subsection 2, clause 10, subclause 1. Okay. So this is how the act is generally written. Section, subsection, clause, subclause. Two more things are there. One is proviso. One is explanation. Tell me, dear friends, have you ever heard the word proviso? It is not provisions. Provisions are separate. It is what written in the act. It is provision. I am asking what is proviso. So if you read the act, sometimes you see provided that, further provided that, also provided that. Now whatever is written by using this provided that, it is called as proviso. Now what is the use of proviso? Okay. What if I tell you, if any student will come in the lecture without revising what was done in earlier lecture, he will or she will not be allowed to sit in the class. Provided that due to some genuine reason, I may allow. I hope message was clear. But what I was supposed to say, what I have done by using that provided that, I have created exception. So whenever Act wants to create some kind of exception, what it use? Proviso. Proviso helps to create exception to the main rules. So whenever I will say that we are going to learn proviso, what we will be going to study at that time? Exceptions. Okay. Second, what is given in the act? Explanation. Now, what is the meaning of explanation? Sometimes lawmaker has written the act in such a difficult language that after writing the act in itself, what he thought is we have to give some easy wordings also, otherwise nobody will understand what is written above. So what he will do is after the entire section is done, he will have a heading called explanation and he will re-explain that provision in some easy words. That is basically called as explanation. That is a part and parcel of the section. So whenever you open a particular section of any act, what generally you will see? Section, subsection, clause, subclause. If exceptions are there, it will be written in proviso and further clarifications will be given in what? Explanation. See, I have written over here section, subsection, clause, subclause. Proviso, explanation. Proviso means exceptions. Explanation means further clarifications. Okay. What we will be learning afterwards? One is act. Second, we will be studying rules. For us, the rules are income tax rules 1962. What we will be studying? Income tax rules 1962. Acha, what is the year of the act? 1961. What is the year of the rules? 1962. Now, what is the meaning of the rules first of all? Let me give you one example. If you ask me, sir, whether we should do inter-CA registration now, I will say yes. You do inter-CA registration now so that you get ICA modules and all. Sir, then you will ask me how we will be doing registration. Then I will say, okay, that I don't know the process. That you have to ask to the admin department. Here I am working like a admin department is working like rules. because I will tell you the main provision, but the procedure will be said by rules. So what is the need of the rules? Rules create procedure. Whatever is the procedure to follow the act is given in the rules. It is subordinated of rules. It is subordinated to the act. So if I tell you, you have to file income tax return every year, this is given in the act. But if I tell you how to prepare that income tax return, what entries are to be done in income tax return, all that procedure will be given where? It will be given in rules. The name of the rules are Income Tax Rules 1962. It is prepared by whom? CBDT. Full form Central Board of Direct Taxes. Now, what is CBDT? Acha, tell me, who manages banking system in our entire country? Who manages banking system in our entire country? Tell me quickly. Perfect. RBI. Who manages stock market in our entire country? Perfect. SEBI. Then who manages income tax in our entire country? CBDT. CBDT manages entire income tax of our country. It take care whether the people have paid income tax or not. It take care of the stuff that whether the people that income tax officer are working properly or not. So the main authority who is handling income tax in our country is called as CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes. So first we will study about act. Second we will study about rules. Third, sometimes we have to study about circular या तो notification. One is circular, second one is notification. Now what is circular? Acha, I just asked you, who manages income tax in our entire country? CBDT. Now can I say CBDT must be having their employees called as income tax officers in each and every city, in each and every area. What if this CBDT wants to give some kind of instructions to their officers that please work in this manner, please work in that manner? They will not do any WhatsApp message, na? They will issue a official instruction. This official instruction is given in which kind of letter is called as circular. So circular is basically issued by CBDT. It is binding on whom? Officers. Their income tax officers. Now, what if CBDT or central government wants to give a message to entire population of India? For example, generally income tax filing return due date is 31st July. But what if income tax wants to extend the due date by 2 months and it wants to make it, let's say 30th September for all? Now, they have to give information to each and every people of India. Now, they can't amend the act, they can't change the act, because if they will change the act, for every year it will now become 30th September. Because they don't want to change it forever, they just need to change it for this year. Then what they will issue? Notification in which it will be written that even though act is saying 31st July, for this particular year, you have to read this as 30th September. So notification is issued by central government also, by CBDT also, and it is binding on all for. So circular is issued by CBDT, binding on officer. Notification is issued by central government and CBDT. It is binding for all. Up to now, we have. Achha, by the way, I have not started this chapter. What we are learning, what we are going to learn. We are going to learn this many things in our curriculum. First, we will study act. Second, we will study rules. Third, sometimes we will study circular and notification. Fourth, what we will study? Finance Act. Very interesting topic to understand about. Finance Act. Question is, what is Finance Act, first of all? The easy term of Finance Act is budget. Budget. Every year in our country, budget is issued. Who issue the budget? By the way, I said that income tax is managed by CBDT. Under which department CBDT work? It work under which department of government? In which ministry of government? CBDT work under Ministry of Finance. Who is the head of Finance Ministry? Finance Minister. Who is the Finance Minister as of now in our country? Nirmala Sitharaman. Earlier, Arun Jaitley sir was there in BJP government. Acha, prior to that, Congress government was there in central place. P. Chidambaram was the finance minister. Why I'm saying you the name of finance ministers? Because there are so many amendments that will come in the future. There are so many provisions that will come in the future. And I will tell you that this particular finance minister brought this change. This particular finance minister brought this change. So you must be aware that as of now, finance minister is Nirmala Sitharaman. Earlier, Arun Jaitley sir. Prior to that, P. Chidambaram. So the technical name of budget is Finance Act. Now, why budget is issued every year and what is there in budget first of all? Every year, whenever budget is issued, there are two things in budget. First, from where income will come and where expenditure will be done. And as a CA, to be very honest, we are least concerned about where expenditure will be done. We are more concerned about from where government will bring income. Now, before I move forward, tell me, what is the date of budget? Every year, on which date budget comes? On which date budget comes every year? First February. First February of every year. Budget comes on first February of every year. Now, why budget comes on first February? Have you ever thought? Why a particular date called first February? Achha. Before this, tell me, in our country, which year we follow for taxation, accounting, and all? Is it a calendar year or financial year? Which year we follow? Calendar year or financial year? Perfect. Financial year. And financial year starts from which date and ends on which date? Financial year starts on 1st April, ends on 31st March. It starts on 1st April, it ends on 31st March. Okay. Now, whatever budget comes, it comes for upcoming financial year. So financial year will start on 1st April. So budget has to be prior to that. And that's why it will come on 1st February. So that government have 2 months to discuss this budget and then to implement from 1st April. So just because we follow financial year, the budget comes on 1st February. And in this budget, they will say to us that in upcoming financial year, from where government will bring the income and where the expenditure will be done. Achha, we are least concerned about expenditure. What we are concerned more about from where income will come. Now let me tell you, in entire Income Tax Act, how to calculate income, that is written. But how to calculate tax on that? What are the rates of tax? It is not written in Income Tax Act. It comes every year along with budget. So majority of the people of India see the budget because they want to see that what are the tax rates in upcoming financial year. So income calculation is said by Income Tax Act. The rates are mentioned under Income Tax Act. The rates are mentioned in every year ka budget. Second important point. Tell me, can Government of India do the changes in Income Tax Act here and there? Means in any month if they want, can they change Income Tax Act? That from next month this will be the provision. From next month this will be the provision. Can Income Tax Act be changed every month? Yes or no? Whatever you know about it, tell me. Some general knowledge question I'm asking. Can Income Tax Act be changed every year or every month? No, it cannot be changed every month. It can be changed only once in a year on the date of budget. So from budget, we have two things to see. First, what will be the rate of income tax for upcoming financial year? Second, what are the changes that government has done in Income Tax Act? What are the amendments that government has done in Income Tax Act from upcoming financial year? Tell me, in your exam, can ICI ask you the questions related to any financial year? Like calculate total income of financial year 2012-13, calculate total income with regards to financial year 21-22. Can ICI ask you the question of any financial year? In your exam, either September 25 or January 2026, the question will be depending on financial year 24-25. That is 1st April 24 till 31st March 25. If you have X amount of income, what will be the income tax payable on that? That particular question will be asked in your exam. So for you, which financial year is applicable? 24-25. For September 25, that is May 25, September 25, January 26 attempt. Financial year which will be asked is 24-25. Now tell me, what will be the date of budget for this financial year? For this financial year, budget must have come on which particular date? Perfectly fine. 1st February 2024. The budget which came on 1st February 24 is technically known as Finance Act 2024. So by way of Finance Act 2024, what we will be understanding that what are the rates of taxes for 24-25, what are the changes that has been done in income tax from financial year 24-25. But you people are little bit unlucky. Why you are little bit unlucky? Because in your financial year, there was a budget, sorry, there was an election. You must be knowing election came in 2024. What is the impact of that? If in any particular financial year, there is an election, then the new government will issue one more budget for the balancing financial year. So the earlier government will issue the budget up to election and new government will issue the budget for the balancing particular year. So for your attempt, you have two budgets applicable. Finance Act 2024 number 1, which came on 1st February 2024. And the second budget which we have to study is Finance Act 2024 number 2, which was issued on 23rd July 2024. And this budget was in so much news because so many changes has been done through this budget by at that time new government. So yes, how many budgets we will study? Two. Finance Act 2024 number 1 and number 2. Tell me, number 1 came on which date? 1st February 24. Number 2 came on which date? 23rd July 2024. Both these dates you have to remember. Okay. Now in any kind of budget is always distributed into 4 parts. Part 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 part of budget is there. In part 1, they will be discussing about what are the rate of taxes. In part 2, they will be discussing about TDS. Have you ever heard about TDS? Tax deducted at source. Meaning we will understand in the chapters later on. In the third part, they are discussing about advance tax. That if you are earning this much tax, how much in advance you have to pay. And in the last, fourth part, we will be studying about net agriculture income. What is net agriculture income? If you have agriculture income, tax is not applicable because we saw article didn't give the power. But if you have other income, tax is applicable. What if you have income which is combining these two? Little bit agriculture income, little bit other income. Then can I say the tax calculation will become complex? Then how to calculate the tax? It is said by this fourth part, that is net agriculture income. So in any budget, 4 parts are there. Part 1 rate of tax, part 2 TDS, part 3 advance tax, part 4 net agriculture income. And last, sometimes along with the act, along with the rules, along with circular notification, along with Finance Act, we will study case laws. Now what is case laws? For example, if there is one line written, I interpret in first manner, you interpret in second manner, you means income tax officer. Then who is correct? Whose interpretation is perfect? Because interpretation seems right. Then whose interpretation is perfect? We have to go to a small authority called Commissioner of Income Tax Appeals, CIT Appeals. If we are not happy with the judgment of CIT appeal, we will do further appeal in Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, that is a small court specifically made for income tax dispute. If we are not happy with this ITAT judgment, we will do further appeal into High Court. And if we are not happy with the High Court, we will go to Supreme Court. If we are not happy with Supreme Court, we will go to our home because Supreme Court is last fact-finding authority. We have to study the judgments of this court. That okay, this is the section. What judgments are applicable for this? Which High Court has given which judgment? How many judgments are there? Nearly 500. 500 judgments we have to study in CA final. In CA Inter, only 4 to 5 judgments are there, and that we'll study whenever it comes. So what we will study is called as case laws, wherein the judgments are there. So in total, we are going to study total 5 things. Act. What is the name of the act? Income Tax Act 1961. What are written in that? Section, subsection, clause, subclause. Exceptions are given under what? Proviso. Further clarifications are given under what? Clarification, explanation. Procedures are written into Income Tax Rules 1962. Who issued that? CBDT. What is the full form? Central Board of Direct Taxes. Third, we will be studying about what? Circular and notification. Acha, circular is issued by CBDT, binding on officers. Notification is issued by whom? Central government and CBDT, binding on whom? For all. Then we will study budget. What is the technical name of budget? Finance Act. For you, which financial year is applicable? 24-25. So budget is applicable. Finance Act 2024, number 1 and number 2. Number 1 came on which date? 1st February 24. Number 2 came on which date? 23rd July 2024. 4 parts of budget are there. First, rate of tax. Second, TDS. Third, advance tax. Fourth, net agriculture income. And fifth, we will study all about case law. Just have a look to this particular chart. And please tell me in the chat box whether you understood up to now, yes or no. I want confirmation from each and every student present over here. Now, first we saw from where power came. Then we saw which government will collect which kind of tax. Then we saw how many kinds of taxation are there in our country. Then we totally came up on our subject, that is direct tax, that what we are going to learn in Income Tax Act. Now, I will tell you a procedure that how to calculate income tax every year. What are the steps involved in that? It may be possible that you don't understand half of the things in that, but still I will teach you. The reason being, because the steps involved in this particular process is your 1 chapters. So basically, I'm telling you what are your syllabus, what is there in your syllabus. And second, I have to tell you the whole and soul process so that whenever we are coming on the future chapters, you understand that which step you are exactly on, how much steps are still pending, so that you understand the entire flow. Tell me one thing quickly in the chat box. Income tax is calculated on a monthly basis or yearly basis? Income tax is calculated on monthly basis or yearly basis? In which manner it is calculated, monthly or yearly? Perfect, it is calculated on a yearly basis. Okay. Now tell me, what will be calculated first? Income or tax? Obviously income, na? From that only we will calculate tax. But before calculating your income, first you have to see what is your residential status. What you have to see first, what is your residential status? This is our chapter number 2. Residential status and scope of income. First, we have to identify whether a person is resident or the person is a non-resident, because accordingly the tax rates will change. Accordingly, the method of calculation will change. Acha, once we determine that what is our residential status, then we have to calculate our income. And our income, as per Income Tax Act, is bifurcated into 5 heads of income. So there are 5 groups. Your income can be under any of the group. This group is popularly known as what? Heads of income. How many heads of income do we have? 5. Means what is the meaning of this? For example, the first head of income is income from salary. Chapter number 4. Income from salary. So if a person is a salaried person, he is earning salary income. How to calculate salary income for income tax purpose? That is said by this particular head of income, that is income from salary. Second head is income from house property. If you have, let's say, a house property which you have given on a rental basis, then how to calculate the rental income for the purpose of income tax? This you will study in this chapter, chapter number 3, that will be income from house property. The third head, which is the biggest head, PGBP. Full form is profit and gain from business or profession. So if you are having a business, if you are having a profession, how to calculate the profit for income tax purpose? We will understand in this chapter. Fourth head is called as CG, full form capital gains. If I have a old house property, old land, shares, I have old jewelry and I sell the same, I will have a huge capital profit. This capital profit will be called as what? Capital gains. And last one is IFOS, full form income from other sources. If I have share dividend income, interest income, all residuary income will form part of this particular chapter. That is IFOS, income from other sources. So basically my income can be bifurcated in any one of them. See, I may have 3 heads of income applicable. Let's say I have rental income also, business income also, dividend income also. For rental income, income from house property. For business income, profit and gain from business and profession. For dividend income, income from other sources. I may have only 1 head of income. I may have any of the 2. I have all the 5. All things are possible. But maximum 5 heads of income. Income from salary, income from house property, PGBP, profit and gain from business and profession, capital gains, income from other sources. I have to find out my income under this all the heads and then I will do combination. I will just merge them. I will get my yearly taxable income. Then I have to apply clubbing. This is also one more chapter. If you see the index, this is also one of the chapter called clubbing. Now tell me, what is clubbing? Let me tell you, today there are so many cases that if, let's say, my spouse, my wife is earning something, she may not be taxable for that. I have to pay tax on that. Let's say my minor child is earning something, he is not taxable for that. I have to pay tax on that. Not all the cases, in some cases. So can I say income is of any other person, but I am paying the tax on that? This particular concept is called as clubbing. Now, when this kind of clubbing is applicable, how it is applicable, we will study in that chapter whenever it comes. Now, once the clubbing provision is done, then we have to apply set off carry forward. Now, what is set off carry forward? Okay, whatever I'm asking, you just tell me the answer in the chat box. Let's say I have income of 100 rupees in my business. So PGBP income is 100. But while I sold my old properties, I generated loss. So my capital gain is negative 20. Now what I will do? I will ignore loss of 20 rupees and I will pay tax on 100 rupees ka income. Is it what I will do? Tell me what I will do. I will ignore 20 rupees ka loss and I will pay the tax on 100 rupees? No. Then what I will do? Can I say I will deduct this 20 rupees ka loss from this 100 rupees of income because both the incomes belongs to me. So ultimately what is my net income? 80 rupees na? What I did, I set off my loss against my other head ka income. This is called set off. But I cannot set off any losses against any income. Few losses can be set off only against few income. And this we will study in that particular chapter. Acha, let's say, what if 120 rupee ka loss is there? And in business, income is only 100 rupees. But in capital gain, loss is of 120. Now tell me what will happen. How much will be my remaining income? 100 rupees PGBP income, 120 rupees capital gain ka loss. Then what will be the balancing income? Can I say the balancing income will be 0? Still, how much loss is there with me? 20 rupees. This excess loss, I will take it to the next year and I will set off against the income of next year. This is called as carry forward. So some losses will be set off in this year, balance loss will be taken to the next financial year. This is called as carry forward. This entire concept set off carry forward we will study in that separate chapter. Now once all the things are done, we will get one income which is called as GTI. Full form of GTI, gross total income. But I'm not supposed to pay tax on gross total income. I'm supposed to pay tax on total income. Then what is remaining now? From gross total income, we will deduct some deductions. So what is deductions? While calculating the income, while calculating the 5 heads of income, you have not deducted all the expenditure. Some expenditure must be of personal nature. Some expenditure can be like investment. Something is like donation, which government wants to give you deduction of the same so that your taxable income reduces and your tax is also minimized. But can I say it is not belonging to any particular head? It is relating to all the heads. It is a common expense. It is a common donation. And hence it is deducted from GTI, that is gross total income. So from gross total income, we will deduct some kind of deduction. Achha, tell me what I have written this U/C VI dash A. Achha, tell me what is written this U/S means under section. Then what is U/C? Under chapter. Income tax is written in chapter format. All the similar sections are kept in one particular chapter. And deductions, sections are 80C to 80U. And all the sections are written in one particular chapter. The number of the chapter is 6A. It is in Roman. VI-A? No, it is called as 6A. So from gross total income, what we will deduct? Deduction under chapter 6A, section 80C to 80U. And balance income is called as total income. So tell me, to calculate total income, what all the steps we followed? First, we saw residential status. Then we calculate our income, which is divided into 5 heads of income. Income from salary, income from house property, PGBP, that is profit and gain from business and profession, capital gains, IFOS, that is income from other sources. Then what we applied? Clubbing. And if there is losses in one head, profit in another head, what we applied? Set of carry forward. Then we got one figure which is called as gross total income. From gross total income, what we deducted? Deduction under chapter 6A, 80C to 80U. Then we got one income which is called as total income. On this total income, now we will apply the tax rate which are given in your respected budget. We will get basic tax. To some rich people, they have to pay more tax, that is surcharge. To some middle class, they will get some discount, that is called as rebate. After this, we have to add 4% compulsory health and education cess. From that, whatever tax is paid already in the name of TDS, TCS advance tax, that will be deducted. Balance will be either tax payable or tax refundable. Sir, we didn't get this. Okay, I didn't taught you. I just told you. From basic tax till tax payable, we have to learn in this chapter itself. In tomorrow's session, we will be understanding what are the tax rate, how to calculate the tax. That we will study in tomorrow's session. But in this chapter itself. So, how to calculate income, that we will study from second chapter till last chapter. But on that total income, how much tax payable is applicable, that has to be studied in this particular chapter itself. I just want all of you to just quickly revise this entire flow, which is our entire syllabus. See, we started lecture exactly at 3 o'clock. As of now, 3 o'clock and 4 minutes, approximately 4 o'clock and 4 minutes, approximately 1 hour and 4 minutes. We just discussed what we are going to study. Up to now, I have not started income tax act. These are the steps, these are the things that we have to study. This is the overview of your syllabus. Kindly go through this once and then we'll move forward. And up to then, please tell me in the chat box whether you understood or not. People reply quickly in the chat box, understood or not. Answer from all of you. So now let us quickly revise whatever we have done up to now, then we'll move forward. First of all, we studied Article 265. Power to collect tax is with authority of the law. Then we studied the bifurcation, which is given under Article 246. Central list is all about the power which is there with central government. Entry number 82, power to collect tax on income other than agriculture income. Under state list, there are three taxes mainly: stamp duty, water tax, municipal tax, etc. Concurrent list don't have any kind of tax. GST ka power is given in Article 246A. Two kind of tax is there: direct tax, indirect tax. Direct tax burden is on payer. Indirect tax burden is on consumer. Five things that we are going to study. First, we will study about Act. Income Tax Act 1961. Section, subsection, clause, subclause. Exceptions are given under proviso. Clarifications are given under explanation. Second, what we will be studying is Income Tax Rules 1962, which is made by whom? CBDT, Central Board of Direct Taxes, which is under Finance Ministry. Third, we will study Circular Notification. Circular is issued by CBDT, binding on officers. Notifications are issued by central government or CBDT, binding on all. Then we will study budget. What is the technical name of budget? Finance Act. For you, which financial year is applicable? Financial year 24-25. So which budget is applicable? Finance Act 2024, number 1, number 2. Number 1 came on 1st February 24. Number 2 came on 23rd July 24. And then ultimately, four kind of partition is there in budget. Part 1, rate of tax. Part 2, TDS. Part 3, advance tax. Part 4, net agriculture income. And fifth, we will study about case law. What is the entire procedure? First of all, residential status. Then five heads of income: income from salary, income from house property, PGBP, profit and gain from business and profession, capital gain, income from other sources. Then we will apply clubbing, set off carry forward. Then we will get gross total income minus deduction under chapter 6A, 80C to 80U. Then we will get the total income, and on that tax rates will be applicable. See, so many times, so many things will revise. Your sole target should be during the lectures, you should learn everything. You should remember everything so that no much efforts are done after going to your home, yeah, after ending the lecture. So yes, you have to revise with me at whatever place you are. You may be at your home, you may be looking the lectures from library, you may be looking the lectures with your friends. You have to speak with me. I should feel that you all are revising whenever I am revising with you, so that it gives me also the energy, it gives you also that energy, and you will remember each and everything before we end this lecture. As I said, we just had 4 hours and 9 minutes till the lecture started, and up to now we just saw what we are going to study. Now let us start this act. What is the name of this act? Income Tax Act 1961. Tell me, what is there in the first section of any act? What is written in first section of any act? And don't tell me section 1, I know that. What is section 1? I mean by what is written in section 1. Any section 1 of any act, the name of the act is given, from which date it will be applicable, that is also written. Section 1 of Income Tax Act says that Income Tax Act is applicable to the whole of India, including Jammu Kashmir, and it will be applicable from which date? 1st April 1962. And what is the name of this act? Income Tax Act 1961. So it has given the name, it has given where it will be applicable to the whole of India, including Jammu Kashmir. See, now the Article 370 is abrogated. Now each and every act which is passed by Parliament of India, all the acts are applicable to Indian government. But earlier also when Article 370 was there, Income Tax Act was applicable even to Jammu Kashmir also. Today you cannot go to the China and you cannot tell to the Chinese people to pay our Indian income tax, because our Indian income tax will be applicable to the India in all the states, union territories of India. From which date it is applicable? As already said, 1st April 1962. Now, what is important? Income tax is applicable to India. Question arises, what is the meaning of India? What is covered by the word called India? So our country is a very funny country because all the act define India in that respected act. So Income Tax Act has own definition, GST has own definition, Companies Act has its own definition. Each and every act define India in different manner. For Income Tax Act, what is covered in the word called India? Okay, something like this. Sorry for bad drawing. Assume that this is India. The land area which is defined in Article 1 of the Constitution, from Jammu Kashmir till Kanyakumari, Gujarat till northeastern states, plus this island over here, Lakshadweep, Andaman, Nicobar. All this particular land area is defined in Article 1 of the Constitution, and this is called as what? India. Whatever are the states, whatever are the union territories, all are part and parcel of the word India. But whether this is the only India? No. Can I say here three sides we have water also? This water is also belonging to India, na? But whether entire water belongs to India? No. United Nation has decided, and what United Nation has decided? Up to 12 nm. What is the meaning of nm? Nautical miles. It is one kind of measurement to measure the water. 12 nautical miles is approximately 22 kilometer. Up to 12 nautical mile, whatever is the water from this side, from this side, from this side, up to 12 nautical mile, this entire water and all the particular benefits, all the particular rights, all the liabilities are of India. The entire territory is of India. This water is called as territorial water. What this water is called as territorial water, up to 12 nautical mile. If you have seen a Bollywood movie called Chennai Express, Shah Rukh Khan was there in a boat and he crossed Chennai border and he was in a sea over here somewhere. And when he opened his eyes, he was in the mid of the sea, but the Indian police were there to arrest him. My doubt is, if he left India and now he's into water, how Indian police can arrest him? Because he was within 12 nautical mile, which is territorial water, in which all the territory of Indian government is there. So Indian police can go over there and can arrest any person because that is a part of India. So up to 12 nautical mile, whatever is the water is called as territorial water. There is a second limit also. From this baseline, from this seashore, up to 200 nautical mile. Now this particular border is called as exclusive economic zone. What it is called as? Exclusive economic zone. Second name is continental shelf. Continental shelf or exclusive economic zone. Now what is so important in this? If From this area, any natural gas is there, any petroleum is there, then all those stuff can be extracted by India. So India have all the power, all the authority up to 12 nautical mile, up to 200 nautical mile. If any petroleum is there, natural gas is there, it also belongs to whom? India. So this particular 200 nautical mile is called as what? Exclusive economic zone. What is the second name of this area? Continental shelf. This is called India, and in this entire India, Income Tax Act is applicable. Means whatever you earn in this land area, in this water area, you have to pay tax to India under Income Tax Act 1961. But whether this is the only India? No. Let me tell you a short story. As I said, our immediate earlier Prime Minister, Finance Minister was P. Chidambaram. P. Chidambaram was going to one place. He was not knowing the address. He asked one person that, please tell me where this place is exactly located. The person said, even I don't know. You see Google Maps, you will get it. Chidambaram said, okay. He saw Google Map. He reached to that place. Now in the fine evening, he was sitting on a chair and he was thinking that I used Google Map, and Google Map must have earned something because of my usage. So many people of this country is using Google Map. So Google Map must be earning so many money from this country. Na? Whether Google Map is paying the tax. He called CBDT chairman that you please check and you tell us that whether Google Map is paying tax or not. What CBDT chairman replied? Google Map is not paying any kind of tax in this country. Zero tax. Then P. Chidambaram, as a finance minister, sent a notice to the CEO of Google Map that kindly identify your income, kindly pay the tax. We know that you have earned approximately this much income and your approximate tax revenue which you have not paid is 5,000 crore. They send a demand notice of 5,000 crore to Google Maps that pay the tax within 30 days. What Google Maps simply did, they hired an advocate from India and they challenged this notice. At that time, Supreme Advocate Ram Jethmalani fought this case. They challenged this notice in Supreme Court, and in one single hearing, this notice was disregarded. What Ram Jethmalani sir has brilliantly argued that, sir, this notice is void ab initio. It don't have any base in itself. The judge said, why? Google Map is earning from India, so it has to pay tax in India. Ram Jethmalani sir said, no. Section 1 is applicable to the whole of India, including Jammu and Kashmir. The word India is defined in Article 225A, Section 225A of Income Tax Act, which says that what is India? The land defined in Article 1 plus up to 12 nautical mile territorial water, up to 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone. My client, Google Maps, neither working on the land nor working in the water. It is working in the airspace. And tell me, in the definition of India, where is the airspace? Means airspace is not a part of India because it is not written. And if it is not a part of India, how can you charge income tax? Supreme Court said that has to. You are 100% right. Airspace is not written, and that's why tax cannot be collected. 5,000 crore ka tax became zero because of the single argument. Then what our finance minister did? On the very next day, he brought a notification in the parliament that with effect from 1st April 1962, from the very first date from which Income Tax Act became applicable, please assume that the definition of India always included the word called airspace. Means retrospective amendment. From the back date, the definition is changed. That airspace was written in the definition. You have not read it well. And by saying this, airspace is also now a part of this definition. And Google Map had to pay the tax again because the judgment was nullified by this amendment. It can be done by retrospective amendment. So finally, what is called as India now? As per the definition section 225A, the land which is defined in Article 1 of the Constitution plus up to 12 nautical mile territorial water, which is approximately 22 kilometer, plus up to 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone or continental shelf. plus airspace. Now, why I said this entire story to you? Just to make sure that you know each and every corner, that how this act is made, how the amendments comes, and how our system works. So you understand better way the future amendments also. First read up to this. And tell me in the chat box quickly, you understood or not? Okay, but tell me one thing, whether you people are paying income tax because you are in India. Tell me. Now do you tell me whether you pay income tax because you are in India? And section 1 says income tax is applicable to the whole of India. You are in India, whether you are paying income tax or not. Oh, okay. What do you think? Whether I should be paying income tax? Am I paying income tax in India? What do you think? Obviously, yes. I am paying income tax. So who decided that you will not pay income tax? I will pay income tax. Who decided this? Section 4, charging section. See, income tax act is there, but it is not applicable to each and every person. Na? If you are not having income, why you will pay the tax? If you have the income, you have to pay the tax. But then we have to see first of all section 4. Section 4 is called as what? Charging section. This section will tell us that when this act is applicable to us, who is supposed to pay income tax and further things. There is one single line which is divided into 5 parts. And this 5 parts means our upcoming 5 discussion of this chapter. See what I have written over here. Income tax is payable by every person on his total income earned in previous year relevant to assessment year at the rates applicable. Means सबसे पहले first of all what they said, every person is supposed to pay income tax. If you are a person, income tax is applicable. If you are not a person, income tax is not applicable. Acha, income tax is applicable on what? On your total income. Which rate which are mentioned must be in Finance Act. Acha, some of the tax rates are also mentioned in Income Tax Act. For example, if you earn lottery income, you have to pay directly 30%. But the 30% tax rate is given in Income Tax Act. On your general income, which kind of tax rates are applicable? That will come under Finance Act, that is budget. Acha, tell me, if I give you one MCQ, income tax rates are given under option 1, Income Tax Act, option 2, Finance Act, option 3, A and B both. Tell me which option you will select. Income tax rates are mentioned under Income Tax Act, Finance Act, or option A and B both. Tell me which option you will select. Yes, option C, that is A and B both. Some tax rates are particularly given in Income Tax Act. Majority tax rates are given in each and every budget, that is Finance Act. So the option is C, A and B both. Okay, so tell me, what is the charging section? Income tax is payable by every person on his total income earned in previous year relevant to assessment year at the rates applicable. So basically there are 5 words which are there in this charging section. 5 words. Person, income, previous year, assessment year, rates of taxes. Which 5 words are there? Person, income, previous year, assessment year, rates. And these 5 words we are going to understand one by one. That what is the meaning of person, what is the meaning of income, all that stuff we'll understand one by one now onwards. Before I move forward, before I take further things into the picture, I just want all of you to take a small 10 minutes of freshen up break. After the break, we'll continue with the definition of person, income, etc. I will exactly resume at 4 o'clock and 35 minutes. 4 o'clock and 35 minutes, I will exactly resume. But before you go to a break, please tell me, people, are you comfortable up to now? Yes or no? Perfectly fine. We'll resume at 4 o'clock and 35 minutes. Thank you.